Hello guys and welcome to Technological, where you grow with knowledge. In the previous video, we had learned about some built-in functions that we can use with the strings. Today, we will learn how indexing works with the strings. Also, we will explore what is slicing, and finally we will see an example to test all the concepts we have learned so far. Before talking about indexes, let's explore a function called length. The length function returns the number of characters present in any string. So for example, let me create a variable called string1 and assign a value. Let's learn. Execute the cell to assign the value. Now if I want to know how many characters are there in this string, I will have to call the function length, that is len. In the parenthesis, I'm going to provide string1 variable as the argument. Let me execute this cell to show the output. The output of the length function is 11. That means there are 11 characters in this string. Of course, it includes the white space as well as the apostrophe. Let's now talk about indexing in strings, as we now know what is the length of a string. Each character in the string is assigned with an index value which could be used to fetch that particular character from the string. So let me insert an image to our Python notebook to explain the indexing in a better way. So for inserting an image to my notebook, click on Edit. First we need to convert this cell to Markdown. Then click on Edit. In the bottom of the options you have Insert Image. Click on Choose File. Navigate to the location where you have your image. Select that, click on Open. Click on OK to finish. Now you will have your image as an attachment in your Python notebook. Execute this cell to display the image. In Python, the index starts at 0 and goes till 1 less than the length of the string. That means if my string has 11 characters, my string will have the last index as 10. So the first character will be on index 0, second character on index 1, third character on index 2, and so on. That means the last character, which is 11th, it will be on index 10. So the last index in any string is length of the string minus 1. What does that mean? It means that the last character can be called by providing length minus 1 as index. So now let's try printing some of the characters from the string. For that, I need to provide the string name, open square bracket, and I want to print the first character from the string 1. Then I need to use index 0. Index 0 is going to be the first character of the string. Let me execute it. There you see. So in my string, L is the first character and it is going to occupy the index 0. So when I call in string 1 with index 0, it is going to print the first character from the string. Similarly, if I want to print the second character from the string, I need to call the string name, square brackets, and the second character will be on index 1. Similarly, I can go on till the end of the string. So I know that my string has 11 characters and the last index or the 11th character will be on index 10. Because the last index is always 1 less than the number of characters or the length of the string. So if I want to print the last character from this string, I will have to call the string name along with the last index, that is 10. Execute this cell and see the output should be n. Now the last index is actually my length of the string minus 1. So if I execute length of string 1 and subtract 1 from this, I will get 10 as output. So most of the times we will not be sure what is the last index in any string. This is a small string and we are able to see, yes, this is a manual input, so we are able to identify, yes, we have 11 characters and the length of the last index in my string is 10. But if we are taking some anonymous inputs in our program and we are not sure what is the last index, in that case the length of the string can be calculated easily, and then we can subtract 1 from there to get the last index. So if I want to call the last character of the string, we can use length function minus 1 to use as the last index for the string. So let me implement it right here. So I'm going to call a length function inside the square brackets, so it will work as the index. So string 1 square brackets length function for string 1, and then subtract 1 from this. This will result in 10. So this code right here should give me the output as n, which is exactly the same as the 10th index or the last index which we already knew. So if we want to now print the second last character, we can simply use string 1 square bracket, use the length function string 1, so that is the length of the string 1, then minus 2. This will print the second last character. Just like that, we can go from the end of the string and can fetch characters one by one. Python makes this further easier by use of negative indexes. So in place of writing length of a string minus 1 to get the last character, we can simply use minus 1 for the last index. That means if I write string 1 in square brackets minus 1, this will be equivalent to this line of code right here. So if I use string 1 with the length of string 1 minus 1, will print the last character. Similarly, if I simply use minus 1 as the index, this will also print the last character. Let's execute this cell and see what is the output. So we get the last character here, that is n, from the string. Similarly, if I want the second last character, I can go string 1 square brackets minus 2. This is equivalent to the second command that we had executed here. Equivalent to, let's execute this. So we get the R as output, which is same as the command when we executed with the length function. So if we need to select characters from the end of the strings, we can make use of negative indexes. Let's now talk about slicing a string. Till now we have been fetching one character at a time from the string, but what if we want to pick more than one continuous characters from the string, like characters from 2 to 5 or characters from 6 to 10? For fetching continuous characters from a string, we need to use slice feature. A slice is used an index in square brackets along with the string name. We need to provide a string name first, then opening a square bracket, then we need to provide our starting index, then a colon symbol, and finally the ending index, which is always one higher than the index which we want to select. So let me show an example to make it clear. So suppose I want to pick, let me display the string 1 first. Now from this I want to pick characters E, T, apostrophe, and S. So I will have to slice this string. For that, first create the string, write the string 1 variable, opening a square bracket, then the starting index. So the starting index will be the index of character E. Character E here has the index 1. I want to select till S. S has the index 4. So Instead of writing 4, my ending index is always one higher than the index of the character that we want. So I want the character S and the index of S is 4. So my ending index will be 5. Let me execute this and see the output. The output of the string slice of string 1 is characters starting from first index till fourth index, or from the second character till fifth character. So the most important thing to remember is our slicing will start at the starting index that we provide and will end one index before the ending index that we provide. Now let's look at some of the cases of slicing. In the first case, we want to start our slicing from the beginning of the string. Then we can leave the starting index as blank. For example, if I want to select first 4 characters from string 1, then the code will be like string 1 square brackets. Because I want to select from the starting of the string, I can leave my starting index as blank. So directly the colon symbol, and then I need to provide the ending index. So I want first 4 characters. So the fourth character will have the index 3, and my ending index should be one higher than 3. So my ending index will be 4 in this case. Let me execute this cell to show the output. So it starts at the first character L, E, T, and then selects the apostrophe, which is the fourth character in my string. In the second case, if I want to select till the end of the string, then I can leave the ending index as blank. So for example, if I want to select starting from the fifth character till the end of the string, then the code will look like string 1, and I want to select from the fifth character. So fifth character has the index 4. So my starting index will be 4, and I want to go till the end of the string, so I can leave my ending index as blank. Let me execute this cell to show the output. So this will start at the fifth character at S and will go till the end of the string. So here this single quote is not actually your apostrophe. This is to enclose your output string. Now if I want to select everything using the slicing, however, it is not required because I can call the variable directly without using the slice feature. But if you want to practice, then you can leave both starting index and ending index blank. So if I want to select the entire string with slice feature, then I can call the string name, square brackets, no starting index, no ending index, just a colon. This will select the entire string. Slicing also supports negative indexes. So if I want to select last couple of characters from the string, then my starting position will be -2. Earlier in the session, we have talked about indexing, and as we know, Python supports negative indexing. So if I want to select from the second last character, then my starting index will be -2. And I want to select till the end of the string, so the ending index will be blank. The code will be like string 1, and my starting index is going to be -2. So -2 is actually the index for R, and then I want to slice till the end of the string. This will be displaying the last 2 characters of the string. The last possibility with slicing is that we can use negative index as ending index. So if we do not want to select some certain last characters of a string in our slice, like I don't want last 4 characters in the slice, then I can choose my starting index as blank because I'm going to start from the very first position, that is the 0th index, and I want to go right before the last 4 characters of the string. So the code will be like string 1, and my starting index will remain blank because I'm going to start at the very first character of the string. Then my ending index will be -4. -4 is the fourth character of the string from the end. So I will finish right before that. If I execute this statement, see the output. So let me scroll a little bit. There you see. So my string starts, my slice starts at the very first character and goes till L. This is the slice that we have received, or we have printed in the last statement. So it leaves out the last 4 characters as desired. So guys, now is the time to test our knowledge of string functions, slicing and indexing with an example. As a requirement, I want to take a username as an input and want to display the first name in title case, where the first character will be in uppercase, while I want the last name to be displayed in complete uppercase. Something like the below text, like I want to create a text looking like this. My input will be, I can have multiple spaces in the starting of the string, and suppose my input is this, and some extra spaces in the end of the string as well. And the output I want is where the first character of the first name will be in uppercase and the last name will be in complete uppercase. So let's take a variable called username and assign a string with some extra spaces in the starting and then the name, and some extra spaces in the end of the string. Execute the cell to complete the assignment. Let's explore what is the value in the username variable. Now first thing is, I need to remove the extra spaces from the starting and the end of the string. For that I will need a strip function. So let me use a strip function with username variable and assign the output of this function to the same variable to store the value. Let me execute the cell and then display what is now present in the username variable. Now those extra spaces from the starting and the end have been removed. After removing the spaces, we need to split the input string into list using a split function. So for that, I will use the split function. So username dot split. Now I want to save the output of this function into another variable called username underscore list. So let me execute this cell and then show you the output. To check the output of this, the last command, let's call the username underscore list variable. There you see my string, the input string Mickey Mouse, has been broken into 2 strings and it has been saved as a list now. Remember, the output of a split function is always a list. One thing to add here, like the indexes work with strings, the indexes work exactly same with lists as well. So if I need the first element of the list, I need to call that by list name along with the 0th index. So I can call username underscore list, and in square brackets, if I provide the 0th index, I will get the first element of the list. That is Mickey, or the first name of our input string. Similarly, I can call the second element of the list by providing the list name and the index 1. This is actually the last name of our input string. Now each element of this list is a string, so I can use case related string functions on these elements. The first element of the list is our first name, that is Mickey. We want this to have the first character in uppercase. So let's use capitalize function with first element of the list and assign it to a variable called first underscore name. So I'll say first underscore name equals the first element of the list, that is username underscore list and index 0, and then use the capitalize function. This is however already in the same case that we want, but just for the practice purpose, for the example purpose, use the capitalize function. So first underscore name will now have the value Mickey. Similarly, we want last name to be converted to uppercase, in complete uppercase, all characters in the uppercase. So let's use a variable called last underscore name and use the upper function with the second element of the list. For that, list name and second index dot upper. So upper function will convert all the characters of a string to uppercase. Let's call the last underscore name variable and see what is the output. So if you see, earlier the second element was all in lowercase. When we used this upper function, it now looks like all the characters have been converted into uppercase. Now the last task is to display the first name and the last name. So for that, let's use print function and first underscore name, concatenate it. So plus is our concatenation operator. Concatenate it with a single white space, and then concatenate this with the last name. So this is what I wanted to print. This was my desired output. Now all this we have done, we have used many variables here, but Python has such a beautiful type of writing code that we can do this all without using much variables. So if I check my username, it is Mickey Mouse, the original input that we had actually provided. Just those spaces have been removed. So let me execute this cell right here to reassign the value as the input string. So now it again has the extra spaces in the starting and extra spaces in the end of the string. So I can simply use username dot strip, which will eventually remove the extra spaces from the beginning and end of the string. Then in the same line, I can use the function split, which is going to convert my string which has the spaces removed into a list. So the output will be a list now. Now directly here I can call the 0th index to see first element, and I can call the second index to get the second name or the second element. Now with that I can directly use dot capitalize function. Similarly, I can use I need to concatenate the first name and the last name. So this string, this code, line of code here is actually my first name with the capitalize case, means the first character will be in uppercase. I have to concatenate it with my last name with a single space in between. So I will use plus symbol, single quote, one single space, and then concatenate again with the last name. So last name is going to be, this is my last name here actually, and then for the last name I want the function as upper. I want to convert all characters of last name into uppercase. So if I execute this right here, my output would be exactly what I wanted. So in Python, you can actually do all your coding in one single line, which reduces a lot of complexity, but it may be a little difficult in the starting phase. But as you gain experience, as you do a lot of practice, you will be able to do all those things in one single line of code. So I hope you guys liked today's tutorial. If you are yet to start with your Python learning, please watch the earlier tutorials and start your journey with Python. Please do subscribe to the channel so that you do not miss out on the next tutorials. Please like and comment to let me know how helpful this tutorial was. Keep learning, keep practicing. Thank you.